What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham. We have the Showstoppers Part 2, a twist that literally everyone saw coming, and a lot more. Let's get started. This is the Auto Breakdown. But I couldn't let you walk away. So we start off exactly where we left off last night in the previous episode, which is hearing Megan Danielle sing. When she hits, she hits. Her default singing voice is really country twang, which is great. I'm not a country music fan, so the country twang when it's thick from anyone, even like the greatest country singers of all time, it just doesn't do much for me. Megan goes back and forth from gospel soul, wanna make you just run through a wall, to that like standard twangy soulful stuff, and I just can't get behind the twang. But if I've ever said something so subjective, that would have been it. I mean, that's just my thing. The judges clearly love her. The last thing she did, the falsetto thing in the sing-off, that was nuts. She's still one of my favorite singers of the whole competition. She goes through, Paige does not. Okay, here's my beef. How do you sing like that, like Paige just did, and go home? Here's why that's not okay. Not just because, wow, she's so good and she's going home. That's crazy. No. That tells me that they knew she was going home before she started singing. Because there's no way they could have expected her to do any better than she did there. Because it was so flawless and strong. It's the best I've heard her sing. And even yet, she still goes home. Now, it is possible that Megan sang so well that it didn't matter how good Paige was. Megan was just better. Her ceiling was higher. Megan's best is better than Paige's best. Which is a way less cynical way of looking at it. But Paige, oh my gosh, it was so good. I hate to see her go. Was a little less consistent than others, so maybe that played a part. Mary Beth. On the floor. Ooh, I got my head down low. Don't you come knocking. Mary Beth is one of the best singers as well. I was looking forward to hearing what she would do. She's got great control, sneaky runs in between phrases and words that are really clean and quick and tasteful. I'm not a fan. I hope this isn't just an anti-country episode. I don't think the rock country song stuff where the band's rocking out and you're feeling the crowd and moving, producers love that stuff. When I was on the show, they love that stuff. They want you to do that. It's up-tempo because they don't want the audience to fall asleep with the contestants doing ballads back to back to back to back. So they love that. Here's the problem. It doesn't really show off your voice. I guess it can show off the fact that you can move on stage and command the crowd. I think that's a bit overrated, if you ask me. There are few that can own the stage in such a way that it is an element of entertainment that is on par with a vocal ability, like a vocal prowess. Like Zachariah, the way he moves on stage. Let's get that dude moving all the time. It's special. And then, of course, like James Brown, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, those guys. But when we're just like, and this isn't speaking to Mary Beth, this is speaking to everyone who does this, like, come on, band, let's rock out. Come on, crowd, let's rock out. Let's sing. It doesn't show off their voice. And for me, it doesn't show off much of anything that's of high value besides, look, I can rock out with the band and the crowd's going crazy. Well, they're extras. They're supposed to go crazy, even if you're not doing well. So I didn't like the song choice for Mary Beth. I didn't think it showed off her voice well. She took moments in the song to show off her voice, to do some vocal thing, but the song itself wasn't doing it for me. Luke, God bless him. He tried his hardest to do this pump fake. Maybe Katie should just handle all the pump fakes. Luke was like, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to call the radio station. I'm like, unfortunately, you're gonna have to, let me track this. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to call the radio station. And then I wonder if he just blew it so bad that they just cut it completely and then just went to her reaction coming out and then pump faking us of acting like she didn't make it and then revealing she did. It was bad. It was really bad. I guess how it finished was, unfortunately, you're gonna have to call the radio station and tell them you're not coming back to work because you're on the top 24th. That's probably how it went. But part of me, it was so bad, and he was like grinning. He just needs to stick to not doing the pump fakes. That can be Katie's job. Oliver. Holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. Sick arrangement. I can't imagine this song done without the shuffle, the drum rhythm shuffle, the I can't imagine it done that way and it being pleasing because it's one of my favorite rhythmic anythings ever. But the way Oliver did it was nasty. Band is vibing really well with him. He feels like one of them. They take on his musical character as they're vibing. They're all very much in the pocket. This was really nice. He did push sharp vocally here and there. Nothing that was too distracting, but I noticed it. Something that he should really stay focused, try to dial in. Also, reminder, this is still Hollywood Week. With the crowd, it feels like a next round. It feels like they all went home, Hollywood Week's over, and now they're doing something else. The Showstoppers. This is still Hollywood Week. I'm pretty sure 2 days ago was the first round of Hollywood Week, and now they're doing this with the band and a crowd. Easy to forget, but it's very impressive what these guys are pulling off and what the band is pulling off. For our Showstoppers, my season, we had a short list of songs that we could do, and we were not allowed to change any arrangement, period. This one, the band is doing 55 different arrangements of songs. Very impressive. Therapy Katie comes out. Big W. She says, I feel like you're constantly looking up to people and heroes, and you don't need to look up anymore. You're your own hero. Oh boy. She also says, it's not about winning, it's about singing from here, which ironically is the best way to win. When you stop thinking about sounding good and you just think about what's here and singing from here, you sound better than you ever could singing from anywhere else. It's kind of a dichotomy. It's a little ironic and it's elusive. And it's a great piece of advice from Katie. Emma. I know this is that's real stuff.
That's top 10 material.
Jeez. Yo, Emma. Emma's on a different level than everybody else. There are a couple contestants that are just on a completely different level than everybody else. Emma is one of them. Vocally, strictly vocally, she might be my favorite. I'm gonna release the top 10 officially at the end of this video. My top 10, my personal top 10. She's right up there for number one. The tone, the vowel changes, things I've said before, the guts to sing way as way ah. Just to give the right amount of soul where that vowel change works. The runs, the falsetto, her choices, she has so many elements that she's playing with at a master level. It is a joy to watch. Lionel says, well, you're great, you're talented, the potential's there, but the challenge is to carve out your identity. No, That is not the challenge because it's already done. She's fully carved. We know exactly who she is. She starts to sing. No one wonders who it is. There are all these amazing female singers this season. None of them sound like Emma. None of them sound like Emma. She can hit everything everyone else can do and has a uniqueness factor. I think this was another just BS thing to try to take us down, make us think maybe she's not going to make it, then to flip it and say, haha, you made it. I almost want to say don't listen to anything they're saying in this round, in this little, where you sit down across from each other to find out if you're in the top 24. Because almost all of their critique is based on trying to make us think one thing to reveal another. It's not actually genuine critique most of the time. I'm sure some of their critique is, but in this case, it doesn't make any sense. Also want to note, top 24, Emma reacts like really big and kind of freaks out. She made it top 24. Top 24 is graduation of buds. Top 24 is you survived Hollywood Week and you made it through. You went through, American Idol has this huge process, auditioning thousands and thousands of people. And they take it all the way to 24, and then they hand over the responsibility to America's voting. The producers, the judges, you made it through everything you possibly could, and you won that section of American Idol when you make it to top 24. It feels like the freaking Super Bowl. Preston.
It's a crazy town full of neon trees. Everybody plays, everybody sings.
Preston is as country as it gets. And again, the go get my tractor, can't wait, get your boots on faster, truck and road and the dirt, and hey, get your beer girl, and I'm saying, say, I recognize, let me say this, I recognize that that's one of the most successful genres of music in the world, and great, brilliant artists do that. And it blows up all over the radio, and people love it. Doesn't do anything for me. Doesn't mean it's not good, doesn't mean it's not valid. I just doesn't do anything for me. Vocally didn't nail it, but he's got that accent that feels authentic. He doesn't make it. That's why at the end, I knew there was no chance that they were gonna let Colin leave, because he's the only country singer, besides Warren, who's very different. But that kind of country, like Preston and even Trey and Colin, when Colin was the only one left to be that, I knew he was gonna make it through. And going forward, it's very good news for Colin, because I feel like that is a huge voting block that is not gonna be divided. They're just gonna vote for Colin. And maybe Warren steals a little bit of that too. Elijah.
Move the immovable, break the unbreakable.
Elijah was another one I knew wasn't gonna go home. Not just because he's great. Like, he's just good enough to have that confidence, like for me to have the confidence to know that he's gonna make it. But also because he won America's vote for that extra platinum ticket. The producers are just trying to find people that America are gonna fall in love with. He already has that proven metric. He was voted for, I don't know by who, not by me, I didn't know about it, CMA something, AMC Awards, and made it. So he's been shown, he's been proven that when America wants to vote for someone, they look at him. So he's a shoo-in to me. And then of course he's fantastic. The song, however, was Believe For It, which is a great song. I don't think it was a song to show off your voice. I think it was so safe. The safest you could possibly be and straightforward. I realized that it wasn't about his voice as much as it was about the message and his story, which is powerful and almost just verbatim of what the lyrics say in the song. I just thought it was a safe choice vocally. And maybe it was the right choice because he made it through, but I think you need to find a way to dazzle and shock people every single opportunity you can on the show, because those all pile up and equal favor with people, which equal votes. Olivia.
All by myself.
I love Olivia. She sang All By Myself. Crushed it. She missed a little bit. I've never heard her miss. I heard it this time. Missed a little bit, but she's still a beast. Still did really well. One difference that I noticed about Olivia singing this song versus Celine Dion as far as style. Her my and All By Myself is very closed and centered and like a mix voice. Celine is wide open, which is insane. So, for example, Olivia would be like, all by. Hear how by is so wide and big? By. And then my. It's like closed. All by myself. Celine is just by myself. Like that, but a gajillion steps higher than that. Elise, really smooth on the keys behind her in this intro. Really pretty intro. Elise just kind of walks us through a presentation to show that she's one of the best voices of the whole season. She's got great tone. She does the whistle tone thing that was absurd. She's given it all she's got, not just effort, but showmanship. She's crazy. She does do what I call the Pee Wee Herman growl, which sounds way worse than it is. Beyonce does it too, and obviously Beyonce's everything. But it's this instead of a growl in the top. And my opinion, my preference is either do the rasp growl or just no growl at all, because without that Pee Wee Herman or the Beyonce growl, you just have a clear, strong note. I prefer that, but still, she just walks us through the presentation. Look, I'm maybe the best singer here. Dawson.
And now the ground will come to take me home.
Love this intro. What a cool way to start a song, saying, this is a story of my faith, and I just want you guys to know that you're very, very loved. Great message, but I mean, what a cool way to start a song by saying, hi, this is a story about da-da-da-da, and then singing. Thought that was so cool. What a song, by the way. Beautiful melody. Dawson just floats on top of the melody beautifully. Heavenly voice, absolutely angelic. He's a perfect example of what Katie said earlier, singing from his heart over all else. And I feel like he gets that from a deep respect and admiration for the God of music. Just a deep respect for that thing, for the music, will allow him to really focus on just honoring that. The accuracy in his pitch is bananas. The falsetto is beautiful. This was one of my favorites. He's super special. Super special. There was a guy in my season named Cody Fry, and he was one of those guys like Dawson who wasn't doing any stunts or anything when he was singing, but all the contestants kind of like, when he would sing and do his thing, we'd kind of look around and be like, okay, we all know that he's just in a different level, right? Like he's better than all of us. Like there's something special about this dude that's just almost beyond the show. That's what I get from Dawson. And by the way, Cody Fry actually wrote the song Dawson sang. That's a full circle. Cam. This was a surprise for me. I was into this performance. I thought he was great. He gets cut. And I wonder, did we see Cam as a superstar because strictly just objectively from his voice, or because of the combination of a great voice and how the show portrayed him to be as a platinum ticket? I wonder if he didn't get platinum ticket, if we'd be shocked that he got cut. With the platinum ticket, there's this sense of, oh, they're different. Like they're crazy. They're stars. But at the end of the day, they're all just people that made it through to Hollywood Week. A member in the live watch party that I do for members only, Thomas Evans, drops this nugget of wisdom, of just head scratcher. He says, "You have to wonder if Cam would have benefited from having another performance in Hollywood rather than bypassing the first round." I have to say that's got to be true. It would have behooved him to have another opportunity to sing, to implant himself deeper into the judges and the producers' minds as a legit contender. But because he passed over that, you have fewer opportunities to shine and to prove yourself in a scenario where the cuts are like 10%, 240 to 24, or 26, I guess. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say the live watch party, it's for members only. If you click the join button on your computer in the bottom right corner of this video, you can become a member for $5 a month, and you get to go to the live watch parties that I just live stream here, watching the show, and then the commercials, we get to talk about what's going on. I also reveal my top 10 to the members first in a video that I actually show why I'm choosing this person over this person and just kind of my process of thinking. If that's of interest to you, you can check out that by hitting the join button. You have to be on a computer though. Caroline Cole, Kaya, and McKinley, they fly through these girls and just cut them all. That was a surprise. Caroline Cole, we didn't see much of her after our audition. She was, McKinley was too. Caroline and McKinley were both predicted to be in the top 24. One of them, I think, top 10, and they were wrong. I've got a list at the end of this video. We're gonna go through everyone the judges said that they predicted to be top 10 or top 24 in their auditions, and a lot of them are wrong. Mariah.
Make one move and you a dead man, friend ain't living long like this.
They are showing a ton of her. Now, a member in the watch party noted that she hasn't been on the last 2 episodes. But when they do decide to show her, they give her a ton of airtime, which again, I said this about Lucy. It's like when American Idol does that, it's like they're grabbing us by the ears and are saying, fall in love with her, fall in love with her. It's probably working for everyone because she's delightful. She's got a great personality. She's authentic and sweet. You just can't fake that, the way that she is, and the way you can see how people love her, and she's kind and charming, and she's got a great voice on top of that. As far as the song goes, I'm kind of saying the same thing I did with Mary Beth. Up-tempo, rock-out songs are boo to me. They just, all right. I will grant her this. She did move really well on stage, especially for her not being used to doing that. She seemed like she's been doing that forever, supernatural. But I would rather hear a song that really highlighted her voice in a special way. But that's just me. It was pretty good though. Mariah's mom just straight up was like, thank you, talking to her late husband, thank you for believing in her when I didn't. Whew. Good for her, for honesty. And just saying, you believed in her when I didn't get it. And now look where we are. Guess who was right? That was a really sweet moment.
I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
For Hannah, this was another one where it's a song that is rocking out, and I still just hold the same attitude that I had from Mariah and Mary Beth Bird and others. But there's something so in her that's so musical that even when she does a song like this, you can see the weaving of her musical spirit that's in it that makes it different than anybody else. I think that's why rock out songs bother me, or I don't think they're good choices for songs, because they're usually just the same every time. Doesn't matter who's singing it. But Hannah does have her uniqueness and her love for music, her songbird spirit. It shows up even in this song. I bet Hannah hated that ready, set, spike thing. Like, I don't think that's how they do it in collegiate volleyball. Ready, set, and this whatever that spike was. Nyalea.
You said you'll be coming back this way again, babe.
I love this. The vocal intro was crazy, beautiful on keys, as always, behind her. She did miss the belt, but she killed everything else. And she was doing it for me. And then the whistle tone thing, that absurdly high note that she sang, Elise gave us a taste of that too. I love this. Trey.
Light the fuse and run now, brother, 'cause you ain't got a lot of time.
Trey's attitude is so wonderful. No fear. It's like, this is just Trey's world. We're living in it. And I'm happy to live in this world of Trey's. Like, there's no way you're not happy and cheerful when he's around doing anything. Even in this moment where his vocal performance was off, I still enjoyed just watching him be him. Proud Texan, mullet, just the energy that he brings. Now, one mess up that he had in the song, I think was more due to confusion on his part rather than actually just singing off. The song has a progression that the first half of the progression ends in a minor chord. The second half of the progression comes right back, but instead of that minor chord, that same chord turns it major. And the melody, what Trey sings that major third. A major third is the one note in the chord that changes it from a minor to a major. And the melody's supposed to sing that. He got mixed up and started singing that major third when the minor chord was being played. So here's the minor note. This is the note that makes it minor. The major is right above it. But it's not major, it's minor. But then he sings as if it's major. So there's this really terrible tension that is just cringy and crunchy in all the wrong ways. It's one of the only intervals I've ever found that just can't sound good. A minor and a major third right next to each other. And I think that was partly why the pitch sounded so off at times. Matt.
It's you and me, moving at the speed of light into eternity.
Matt's got a beautiful, clean R&B voice. The band is murdering the song. They're in their bag for this. This is what they major in. This is a pop band, Chris Pooley, and they're murdering this. He's missing a little. I'm wondering in my head, how is he so good, yet a lot of times when he sings, I'm not being blown away. And I wonder if his voice, as clean and sweet, soft, buttery as it is suited for American Idol songs and like these 90-second little packages of songs. Maybe he's just choosing the wrong songs. But every time his audition was so good, I'm expecting to just be blown away, and I never quite am. Colin.
Why you gotta be so cold? Yeah.
Rap sounds good. He's missing a lot in this one. But it doesn't quite matter because he's shown how good he is before. There's no way you can leave him out of the top 24. Being who he is, good old country boy. More Noah Thompson than Noah Thompson. Ian.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Makes it look like there's a false start right before, and then we go to commercial. I'm like, oh geez, terrified. I don't know what happened, but he just went right through it when we came back from commercial. This dude is, how do I say it? Doesn't sing or run, no high notes, not running around the stage, not doing crazy arrangements. Just sings, and when he sings after everybody else, there's a sense of, oh, that's what a singer is supposed to sound like. Oh, this feeling I have in my heart, that's the first. I haven't felt that with the other 13, 12 singers. It's so special. He's such an artist, not just in his originality, but stemming from that, I hear his album. I see him on tour. I see him doing a show that I'd have to go to an EM show to get that. I couldn't get that from anywhere else. I can get great singers all over the place, but I can't get what EM gives anywhere. All three of them go through. Last episode, Ryan said, a twist you'll never see coming. Literally everyone saw it coming. In the watch party live chat, everyone was like, they're all three gonna make it. They're all three gonna make it. They're all three gonna make it. There's no way one of these people go home. They're all three gonna make it. And then they did. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, by the way, was gorgeous. Kind of until everybody joined in, then it got a little wonky. Here are the contestants that the judges predicted would be in the top 24 or the top 10. Michael Williams, correct. Caroline Cole, wrong. Mary Beth Bird, correct so far. Elijah McCormick, right. Colt, top 10, says Katie. Doesn't make the top 24. Kaylee Clark, top 10, says Luke. Doesn't make the top 24. PJ makes the top 24. Warren, top 10, says Lionel. He's on track, makes the top 24. McKinley does not make the top 24. Here's my new top 10. This is if the show was all about finding Clark's favorite singer. This is my top 10. You can see with the arrows who's moved. There was some big movement. If you want to see the video of me making these decisions and talking through why I pick certain people, you can become a member and get access to all the videos that I do, all the extra stuff that I do like that. The best way to watch this is in the premiere. Every Monday and Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, this premieres live, and there's a big chat room where we're all talking about it. Oliver Steele's usually in the chat. Ashley Tankard's usually in the chat. And then right after that premiere, right after, I do a live Q&A that's open for everyone. Right here in the room, it's just like this, except I get to talk to you. So you get to tell me all the things you think I said that were wrong or right, and ask extra questions, anything you want me to clarify, wide open for 15 minutes. The new members that have joined this week are Chrissy Hall, Hyder Vital, Sean Latham, Stuart Irell, Kyle K, Ruby Joy, Julie Fields, Mary Goldman, Melissa Bates, Copper Cowboy, who has been very vocal in the chat and I've talked to a lot, Julie Courier, Alex Goldblatt, Ruby Joy, Kyle K, Joe Figueroa, Jacob, Samuel Gold, K, Corey Dos Razier is how I will say your name, Jersey Balterone is how I will say your name, John Turry, Penny Cower, Nick the Quick, 224, and Bird Set Free, 123. Welcome to the Groove Crew. Okay, that's it. See you next week.